myself. I think I found them. A man with many skills. Pretty good view to work from, isn't it? I do think it's the best money can buy. At the moment, I've just programmed that feeder to feed 3 times a day. But tomorrow, that there will be all rocking and rolling, and it'll be singing and dancing and bubbling around like that. All of the top coat is all finished. 3, 2, 1. Happy days. Just gonna strip down this pond completely. Absolute carnage out here. This is the main reason why you don't build a pond out of wood. And there might be some bits here that I'm getting rid of.
Cleaning up.
All right, sweetheart, all right. That black dye, which is there, decided to knock off all of the tiles, but I'm mixing up my mix. There's me mix. There's me battery. Thank you very much, sweetheart. It will certainly be the absolute hammer when I'm finished. Get on the pedigree. Have some of that. Right then, ladies and gentlemen, James the Koi Whisperer, back for another video. It's a bit of a complete random video. Stick around, check out what's going to happen in this video, because there's loads going on. As you saw on the coming up clips, everything you just seen is in this video. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to like the video for me, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notification bell, and just enjoy this video. It's been well over a week now. I'm more than happy with the fish out in the new pond. What I'm doing today, I'm just going to strip down this pond completely. As you can see, I've got all my filters off. I'm going to crack on. See, I've still got the media there. I haven't used it in my new pond, just to show you, just in case there was any bacteria problems in there. I'm not transferring that across to the pond, but I'm going to crack on, get all of this done today. Absolute carnage out here. But I just thought, I'm not going to video all of this, but I just really wanted to tell you, anyone that builds a pond, this is the main reason why you don't build a pond out of wood. That there's only 6 months old. That water's got through that OSB. And I don't know how, but there's water been in behind it. All over. You can see in certain places. Not just in one corner, but certain places of this pond. Well, that is certainly the reason why you do not build a pond out of OSB, no matter what you line it with. So this pond was lined with liner and it had underlay. And I put this blue sheet up the sides, and water still got in behind the back of it, which is pretty scary to think about it when people build ponds. Definitely not recommended to build it out of OSB anyway. This was just a temporary pond for time being. Right then, so it's far from perfect because it ain't finished yet, but I've stripped down the old pond. I've saved all of the wood. Got a plan, I've got an idea what I'm going to use that for, so that's staying there for a little bit. I've got a push bike that needs to go into the skip because it's no good. That's all skip material. But as you can see, I've cleaned and pressure washed off all of my media that was in this pond. Yeah, I've just got everything soaking, washed out all of my pipes. I got an idea. Upset Mrs. Whisperer because I've brought in and cleaned all of the equipment. It was like a sauna in here earlier on, and it's all cleaned and sorted and ready to go. So I'm going to get all this packed away, and there might be some bits here that I'm getting rid of, but I'm not getting rid of anything yet. So just bear with me a minute, and me and the boys just going to tidy it up because it's just
more cleaning up.
All right, sweetheart. All right.
Smells. Come on.
I've got the pressure washer out. Everything's been cleaned. Wife happy. Happy days. It's 10 times better about that pond there. Trust me. Wife is happy. So I've got my cousin back out. He's about to do a bit of rendering for me. So a man with many skills. He can work with his left hand and his right hand. Look at that for a bit of work. Happy days. So I decided not to tile this. We got a little bit of an idea coming. All of the corner beads have been put on. And then we're using the fiberglass mesh. Yeah. Which helps it hold all together. It's a proper tidy job of it. And then after this sets off, they'll whack the top coat on, which will really finish it off. But after that's done, we got a little bit of an idea and a plan, so you have to stick around and see what happens. Looking the absolute hammer. Thank you, mother, for the rabbits. Get right in there. Look at that. Look. Lovely. So basically, the people that don't know what this mesh does, it helps it bind all together with 100mm overlap of the corner beads, and it just binds it all together as a solid piece so it don't crack and it don't split. It is expensive stuff, but if you got a mate in the trade, it's what you call happy days. Tell you what though, Shag, pretty good view to work from, isn't it? Looking through that window.
Not bad view.
Looks mega. As you can see, just finished doing the rendering on the side of the pond. I've
Obviously it's going to have a top coat, but I've got to let that dry now for the next 24-48 hours. All of the koi in mint condition. There was one of my fish with what I call Big Betty, which is the big, that one down there, the big kajaku, right down on the bottom. She had a little problem with her dorsal fin. But since being in the pond for 2 days, can't really see it when she comes up, I'll show you, but yeah, since being in the pond for 2 days, me treating it, it's come back lush. But check out that yammy, look, that one's put on some size. That's well over 55 centimetres. This one here is about 85, pushing up bigger than that, to be fair. I didn't measure her, too big for me bowl. Time the copings go down there, I know I've got no leaks, but I didn't want to fit them because time I put my top coat in, it makes a bit of a mess, like, you know, so. But check that out, look, from here, open up my conservatory window, boom, straight there. Showers are working an absolute treat. The fish are doing proper good. Little bit of froth on the water, but I'm bound to get that. Very little feeding and just keeping an eye on my water. But I've got a constant trickle going in. This one is being moved into the filter house Thursday, Friday, and then everything's going to be in the filter house, and I can tidy up all of this. Yeah, so just to be 100% clear, all of the media is still here from the old pond. I wanted to show you guys along the way of how to deal with new pond syndrome. For the pure fact, everyone goes through it. I don't believe there's another YouTuber out there that shows you from start to finish of a pond build, of a new pond build, without, you know, afterwards, what happens after you set a pond up. Because everyone that is thinking about building a pond, you will go through a thing called new pond syndrome, and it is quite a tricky thing to deal with. If you go about things the right way, then it's very easy to deal with. It's just following a few simple steps and keeping an eye on your water is key, not overfeeding. But the main reason I wanted to show you, because I am bound to get some problems, because everyone with a brand new pond does get problems, but it's how you deal with it. And I wanted to share with you guys, for the people that don't know and don't have a clue, just got a rough idea of what I know, what I'm doing, and it's always worked for me in the past, so I'm willing to share that with you. I'm more confident enough to share that with you. I'm not afraid to show you the problems, what you will get, but I'm also going to show you how to deal with those problems. So that being said, I've got a few things to do tonight. First one, going into that filter house. And so as you can see real quick, the bio tank, all of that media in there is all working an absolute treat, and it's only been in there less than a week. So at the moment I've put 75 litres of the bio tube in, put 50 litres of the bio flow in. I've got another 50 litres to put in as well. But what I'm going to do with this next lot, just dumping it all in to start with, what I'm going to do is just add a couple of handfuls every night. Don't know if you can see as well, every now and then you see a couple of the pond bombs floating around in there, or the pond balls. All I'm doing with that is sprinkling a couple in every night, just to make sure it's trying to keep that water, just to get it all kick-started. And it certainly helps. It's what I've always ever done, and it's what I'm going to carry on to do. I'm personally doing what I know what works. You can take it or leave it. Always ever helped me in the past, so, but I guarantee you one thing's for sure, it works. This is going in now, and I'm just going to add a few handfuls, and literally just until I can see a little bit of it floating, till it can't handle any more. Because as you can see, the new stuff's gone straight in and it goes right against the edges. So if I just keep adding a few bits in, at the end of the week I'll have it all in there and it will all be working an absolute treat. Then, so as you can see, all of the top coat is all finished. I can leave it white if I wish, but I am planning to paint it. But what my job is for today is I've just had this middle stone out. Obviously the thickness of the render and the top coat going on here, I've had to trim down that middle one by roughly around 10 mil. So I've just cut that now. I've also just whacked myself up a little cement mix. I have used some of that black dye, which is there. That stuff, for people that want to know. As it comes through the slabs as such, I don't really want to see any of the overspill, if I get any at all, down through the joints. It just neatens everything up. So that's why I've just added, literally you only need a couple drops of that and it turns your mix from a red sand to a lovely black mix. Hides the mortar when it goes between the slabs. So that being said, I'm going to lay these down now, get them level, but well happy, looking absolutely mega. Time I get this all put in, it's another job ticked off the list. But look at Big Betty, look, absolutely Z-hammer. And her dorsal fin, for the people that want to know, still a little bit there, but it's certainly coming back tenfold. But I'm going to get this done now. Then I can concentrate on giving the window a good clean off, because then should be no more dust, or very little. So yeah, as you can see, I've got the tiles laid in place, or the coping stones, or whatever you want to call them. They're all singing and dancing. Does look a little bit messy where I've got a little bit of the overspill onto the top coat, but I am going to paint that a different colour anyway. I've got a little bit of an idea, a little bit of a plan, and we're going to see what happens when I'm all completely done. But I'm not going to push back all the gravel yet. You can see I've scraped back the gravel. What I'm doing, I'm going to leave the gravel pin back. I've got to fill in a bit of the joints, but what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to use a bit of silicone. I'm going to silicone along the bottom, and then what I'll do is silicone in all of the joints and just hopefully make it a little bit better, a little bit of a nicer finish. Time I'm done. I know there's a lot of people saying that I should have used one continuous slab across there, but I quite like it. I think it looks quite cool. I'm happy with it, so happy days. I've treated myself to a Japanese auto feeder. Well, it's not really a Japanese auto feeder, it's a JBL one. I've seen a few other YouTubers out there at the moment using these. I was well impressed with them, what I've seen, the reviews that I've seen on them. So I thought I'd treat myself, and well, I've already treated myself to a brand new pond, but I'm the boss. So I thought to myself, I'm having one of these bad boys as well. What I've also got is 2 bags of the Saki-Hikari, basically just a winter food there more than anything, and then I've got the balance. It's both foods I've used in the past. They are super expensive, but it is quality. I do think it's the best money can buy, but I do also appreciate that it is a lot of money for people to buy and spend to feed the koi. But I really like the stuff, and it keeps the water quality bang on. It is well overpriced for a feeder, for a koi feeder. This here retails at £300. It actually cost me £306 to get delivered. He just took out the box to have a look at it. It's got the digital program. It's got a 1/2 metre turn, which it propels the food out of. Goes up to 1 metre as well. Like I said, I've seen a few YouTubers out there using it. I'll give a better demonstration when I get it all set up in a minute. It like locks in place so you can fill it up. It actually holds 25 litres of food, which is absolutely ample, more than enough. The main reason why I went with this one, like I said, there is a lot cheaper fish feeders out there available on the market, but the main reason why I went with this one is because you can set it to have 24 feeds a day. Not that I'm gonna have 24 feeds a day. If you're at work and you want to feed a little bit more or a little bit extra or whatever you want to do, you can program this auto feeder to the exact time, and I just like the fact of that you can feed up to 24 times a day at a certain amount. One thing I have seen from other people is that the minimum amount that you can have for each feed is 15 grams. I think roughly around that, which if you're feeding 24 times a day, 15 grams is more than enough. But it all depends what you want to do. I'm just going to try it out. Just wanted to show you what I've got, just to share it more than anything. That being said, look, I'm going to get this one set up, get it up there. I've never owned an auto feeder before. I've always been the type of person that hand feeds my fish, but I think next year I really want to concentrate on trying to get as much feed into these fish as I can. And with not being overstocked in this pond now, I reckon I can really bring on some of my smaller fish and make them develop a little bit better. At the moment, I've just programmed that feeder to feed 3 times a day on the minimal amount possible. So I'm going to chuck this in there now. This here, look, ain't even going to touch the sides in here, but I'm going to get it in there. Just work out then how much each feed gets pushed out. You can see how much I can actually fit in there. That there's enough to keep me going for a while. Happy days. Right then, so as you can see, I've sat the auto feeder up in place. It is the next morning now, so I have programmed it. I will explain a little bit more about it when I've got a little bit more time of how I've set the times. But it's just literally 7 o'clock in the morning. The first feed's just gone off. They didn't even give me time to get the camera. It sort of caught me off guard, but they've cleared up all of the food. The next feed's set for 12 o'clock. So what I'm planning to do is get all of this painted across the bottom here, and hopefully by then I'm a little bit more in front. I've got a few more extra jobs done, and this is going to set off again, and I can show you what it fires out. I don't want to over put the food in at the moment. The main reason why I want that, and I'm not hand feeding at the moment, because I can work out and that will measure exactly how much food I'm putting in, and I won't be tempted to put any more food in just until the pond gets up and running. But it is a bit of a foggy morning this morning, so I do apologise about the footage if it's a little bit not as clear as what it is. But you can certainly see, not that this is a problem being white, but I've got a little plan, little idea, and I just got to crack on and get things done. But I'm absolutely loving this window. I am so happy that I put it in. I was always the type of person, or as a koi keeper, that not that I didn't like windows, my opinion on things is that koi were always best viewed from above. But since now having a window, and I'm not just saying this because I've got a window, but since having the window, it has made the whole, well, I'm just speechless, because it's made my whole experience of owning koi and keeping koi from a whole new aspect. And I'm absolutely so glad I've fitted this window, because it is proper cool. It's the best TV screen that money can buy, and I'm over the moon by it. So that being said, let's crack on with some jobs today. One extra job I'm doing this morning, I'm adding the rest of this BioFlow Plus in. As you can see, over the course of the week, I've just been chucking it in. There's still a little bit in the corner that needs to be, I did chuck a little bit too much in last night, to be fair with you. But I'm going to chuck this in, and I guarantee you, by tomorrow or the day after, all of this will be doing its thing. Be 200 litres after I've put the rest of this in, which will be absolutely ample for the size pond that I've got and the koi that I'm keeping, with the showers that I've got. Should be an incredible system. So I'm going to get this in now. Right then, so we go from this in 3, 2, 1 to this. Happy days. So the reason why I've blacked it all up, for the pure fact, it really shows that window, and especially I'm looking forward to this evening, hoping that the glass window is going to be like a 5-foot TV screen. Happy days. Tell you what, look at it. Looks the absolute hammer. But that being said, look, I've got to go to the shop. I've got to get some bits. Hey love, I think I found them. That's the ones we want. So let's get a load of these, and we're going to show you what we're going to do with them when we get back. £10.72 each. Not bad. Go on, love. I'm sure you're capable of pulling that lot, ain't you? The garden is carnage once again. So I picked up those tiles. I got my tile cutter out. I've also picked up some tile adhesive, got some grout, and I've also got some tiles. And what I'm going to be doing with them is sorting this out here. So I've just made a start. I've just made a start of what I'm doing. I've got some trim, and the reason what I'm doing, I really just don't like the colour of these tiles. These packs of tiles were on offer, £7 a pack. There was 9 in each pack. I picked up 3 packs. I got more than enough. To start with, I'm just going to get all of the cuts all laid out. I'm probably going to leave it for the night, and I'll probably tile it again tomorrow morning. But I think it will look a lot better against that, and against what I'm doing with them. I always forget to get my camera out, but I decided to knock off all of the tiles just to make it a little bit better, so it bonds to it a little bit better. Just reading the instructions made up my mind of knocking them off. The reason why I got the camera out is because I need to get another battery, because my battery's dead. But I'm mixing up my mix. There's my mix, and I'm going to carry on, and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm all done. But I'm sure it'll be better. But you, my friend, cannot come outside yet, dog. Not until I'm done. There's my battery. Thank you very much, sweetheart. Right then, so she's certainly coming on. I just got to do the face of this now. I did leave the front of these tiles on the face for the pure fact I just needed to bring it out about 10mm, just so I had a full length of tile when this one butts in for my trim. It's the reason why I've done it, but it will certainly be the absolute hammer when I'm finished. It looks absolutely banging, more than happy with it. And then I've got a massive clean down. Look at the state of it. One epoxy job, and then the garden is turned upside. I've even got a bag of dog food out, but it ain't really got dog food in. It's got all my bits of scrap. Handy bag to put all the waste material in. Get on the pedigree. Have some of that. And so it's 24 hours on, all been grouted.
looking the absolute hammer. Well made up with that. Tidies it up. All looks symmetrical. And yeah, happy days. Wife's happy. I'm happy. And not bad little DIY job for the quick 40, 50 quid that it costs to do. So happy days. It matches these over here as well. So everything flows. What else I've done as well, I've put down some stepping stones so I can walk straight over, straight into my filter house. I've got to go and do a full day's graft up the butchers, and then I'll come home and relax and enjoy the pond. That's the idea and that's the plan, I think. But thanks for watching the video. I know it was a bit of a random video, bit of here, bit of there, bit of everywhere, but I've got to admit, I am absolutely loving this pond. I'm loving this window, the absolute hammer. Like I was saying, it's the end of the video now, but thanks for watching the video. Check back next week, see what I get up to, see what more jobs I get done to this garden. And it's each week it's just looking better and better. I can't believe, you know, how far I've come in this project. So subscribe to the channel, like the video for me. Happy ponding everybody, and I'll see you on the next one.